I like video games. I wasn't quite sure how else to start this, but we'll start it like that. I like video games, and I always anticipate the release of a new game I am looking forward to. More likely than not, when a game comes out, it gets attention then, and it gets remembered if it's good, or, you know, sometimes even if it's bad, it gets remembered for being bad. But then there are good games that come out, but people don't even know about it, and they discover it later on. I'm not talking about hidden gems, because those are games that are just commonly forgotten. I'm talking about, I don't know how to classify these, I'll just call them games that become more popular way after they come out, which is pretty self-explanatory. A game comes out, no one even knows about it when it does, and then later on, come like a few years, people discover it, and it becomes a big game. That's what we're counting down today. Hey guys, DPX here. Welcome to the top 10 games that became popular way after they came out. Before we get started though, you know what to do. Like this video, subscribe, turn notifications, leave a comment, you'll be a loyal subscriber.
I wanted to give to you, the last part of your notes here, the significance spiritually of the number 10 in the Bible.
The Sega Genesis was a console that had many fantastic games, and therefore many new Sega IPs. Many of them have not gotten any sort of follow-up since, though, one being Comix Zone. Comix Zone is a very cool idea as you play as Sketch Turner, who gets trapped inside of a comic book and has to fight his way out. This sounds great, but Comix Zone was released for the Sega Genesis after the Sega Saturn had already come out, so the Genesis was nearing the days where it became obsolete. However, Comix Zone got more popular over time as it kept getting re-released in many Genesis collections and stuff. Comix Zone also got more popular just by being involved in conversations about overlooked games, so the game almost received a cult following. Hopefully Sega will remember that they made this gem and maybe do something with it. Beyond Good and Evil. I feel like you've probably heard of the name of this game before, and of course, since it's on this list, received a cult following as it was discovered much later on. But yeah, Beyond Good and Evil seemed like a game that should have grabbed everyone immediately, but the marketing of the game as well as its competition at the time didn't do it any favors. How did Beyond Good and Evil become more popular over time though? Well, it hasn't really gotten re-released, but rather just discovered. You look at many hidden gem videos, not mine, but others, and this game would constantly appear. That and many rumors started flowing around about a Beyond Good and Evil 2 before actually being revealed, but seems like it'll come out on the PS fucking 8. Seriously though, what's up with that one?
So I'm going to be giving this flavor 8.5 out of 10 scoops.
Talk about a game being re-released. I mean, Beyond Good and Evil never did, but Okami is one game with so many re-releases I can't even count. Okami is a game that takes much inspiration from Zelda, but you play as a dog and use a paintbrush tool to solve puzzles. When it initially came out on the PS2 though, nobody played it. Can't quite figure out why, but just flew under the radar. However, Okami got re-released on Wii, PS3, Xbox 360, and then got a remaster for the PS4 and Xbox One, which then got ported over to the Switch. Not to mention, it got a sequel on the DS called Okami Den, and Amaterasu, the main character, even made an appearance in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You can tell Capcom really wanted this game to succeed, and it eventually did, as it is a very critically acclaimed game.
36.
Very close, but that's not it. Let's go to Gary the Retard. What number between 2 and 4?
7.
The Last Guardian and Shadow of the Colossus. What do these two games have in common? They were developed by Team Ico. Wanna know what other game was developed by Team Ico? Ico. You probably knew that, but most people didn't when this game originally came out. Ico is constantly looked at as a near perfect game, similar to the following Shadow of the Colossus had, but Ica wasn't as popular upon release. Why? I'm not sure. Maybe it was the box art, which I wouldn't be surprised if it turned off many people, because just look at this shit. Well, Ico eventually had gotten re-released on the PS3 and has received a cult following and is commonly looked at as one of the best PlayStation exclusives.
Okay, Mrs. Puff, what's my final score?
6.
Woo! When is No More Heroes 3 coming out? Let's hope this year, as it seems like it's going to. And hey, at least when No More Heroes 3 comes out, No More Heroes will at least be known by many gamers, as that is not something I can say for the first two games, as very niche when they came out. What happened here with the first two games? Well, No More Heroes 1 and 2 were two rated M games that were on the Wii. And since the Wii was marketed as a console for more casual gamers, the first two No More Heroes games were sorta targeting a demographic that the Wii wasn't targeting. However, I guess time has just been kind to these games. When discussions about the best Wii games started, No More Heroes was included in those discussions. For a while, Travis Touchdown was popular in Smash speculation. We don't talk about Travis Strikes Again, but it did bring more eyes to the series, and we even got the two No More Heroes games on the Switch. And since the Switch is more of a console geared towards literally anyone, not just the casual gamers, this works.
Oh, chills. Literal chills.
It was number 5. Number 5 killed my brother.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
The Sega Dreamcast, despite being discontinued too soon and made Sega leave the hardware business, was a great console with great games. However, considering everything I just said, most games on the Dreamcast got overlooked, much like the Shenmue games. The reason Shenmue didn't get any attention is simply just cause it was on the Dreamcast. It had everything going for it to become iconic, but the fact that it was on the Dreamcast meant it was gonna fly under the radar. Shenmue 2 was equally as good, and even though it also released on Xbox, it also flew under the radar. However, over time, it was clear that Shenmue was one of few franchises Sega actually remembers, as they had the main character Ryo Hazuki appear as a playable character in Sonic and Sega's All-Stars Racing, and then had a big announcement at Sony's E3 2015 press conference about Shenmue 3, and having it announced on a big stage like that really helped. Not only that, Sega re-released the first two games in a remastered compilation, so now people can play them. The Wii was a very good and successful console, but not all games were successful. Look at Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles wasn't originally released in the US, but eventually did, but it was made as a GameStop exclusive. I don't know why you would want to do that, but if that wasn't bad enough, GameStop had pretty much all the permission to do what they wanted with the game when it came to selling it. So they priced it at like, what, $90? And only put a few on store shelves, and then sold many more copies on eBay. The handling of the game's release was poor, but then Shulk got added to Smash, and Xenoblade Chronicles was re-released on the new Nintendo 3DS as an exclusive to the 3DS Revision, which nobody had at the time because it had just come out and received many shortages. Yeah, great job. However, Xenoblade Chronicles has become a recent big franchise for Nintendo, as they made Xenoblade Chronicles X and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, as well as remaking Xenoblade Chronicles on the Switch as Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, giving people the opportunity to play the fantastic game. Rareware has many fantastic IPs, whether you're talking about Banjo-Kazooie, Battletoads, Killer Instinct, Perfect Dark, or Conker's Bad Fur Day. However, you may not have known this, but that last one, Conker's Bad Fur Day, actually released to very little attention. That's right, we all love it now and consider it an N64 classic, but Conker's Bad Fur Day was released on March 5th, 2001 for the Nintendo 64, while the Nintendo GameCube came out later that same year in November of 2001. Conker's Bad Fur Day had a very troubled development, even starting off as an incredibly different game. So to have nobody play it on release is a real shame, as it is also a fantastic game. It got more popular as time went on though, not through re-releases, but people just discovered the game over time, and now it is regarded as a classic.
What kind of pencil do we take again?
Number 2. Take a number 2.
Looks like you took a big number 2.
One game that easily comes to mind when talking about games that become more popular over time is Earthbound. Earthbound is a fan favorite, one game beloved by many, and possibly one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. And nobody played it when it initially came out because it came out very late in the SNES's lifespan. It also probably didn't help that this was a sequel to the first Mother game, which was only on the Famicom and hadn't been released outside of Japan. And the game was also marketed poorly. I mean, just look at it in Nintendo Power. What kind of advertisement was that? Luckily though, Earthbound got popular simply for NES's inclusion in Super Smash Bros., thus showing that Smash could actually help popularize characters, and NES has become a Nintendo icon since, thus further popularizing Earthbound.
I'm a Luigi, number 1.
Look at the year 2020. Okay, you would probably like to forget, but specifically when it comes to video games, alright? When the conversation of the best games of 2020 comes up, many people include one game that didn't even come out in the year 2020. It even won Best Mobile Game and Best Multiplayer Game at the Game Awards, and it didn't come out in 2020. I'm of course talking about Among Us. Now what happened here? Unlike all these other games on the list, Among Us might as well have not even existed before last year. It sort of just came out in 2018, and like no one cared about it. It technically didn't even exist. But in 2020, it sort of just came out, except it was already out, but you know what I mean. I think the Henry Stickmin collection sort of helped there. In fact, it absolutely did. But still, this just sort of came out of nowhere and killed Fall Guys, so I still think that's pretty fun. Among Us blew up a full 2 years after it originally came out, and it might be the most popular game right now, which is why it takes the top spot. And that was this list of the top 10 games that got popular way after they came out. What do you think? Hopefully, this video doesn't become popular way after it comes out. So be sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.